Alright, I legit just ended the other video. This is all coming from the top of my head, by the way. So, I'm just speaking from personal experience. The reason I can do this, the reason I can stop one video and immediately start the other is because I'm speaking from experience. I cannot comfortably say I'm an entrepreneur. I say I'm on the journey because realistically, I'm on the journey to be an entrepreneur. I want to make businesses, I want to make money, and I want to have that lifestyle. I don't want what everyone else has. I want that type of lifestyle. So realistically, if I want to get there, I'm gonna have to work for it. I'm gonna have to, work on more than just myself. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys how easy it is to start and where you can start and what is the best. I'm not going to say what's the best business venture to start at, what niche it is. I'm just going to tell you how easy it was for me to start and how I got to this point. So let's rewind back in time. It is 2023. I would say around summertime. It was when school was starting. Around that year when school started, I started my own clothing brand, my small side hustle that I could work on here and there. I've always dreamt about making a clothing brand. I'll find the picture here somewhere. But on my desk, I had a whiteboard, and on that whiteboard, one of those lists, one of like the dream, my life goals was to make a clothing brand. And I eventually made one. I made a print-on-demand clothing brand. And I started that up, and a few weeks later, I'd say, I met someone who also started a clothing brand on their own. So this was just complete coincidence. I don't know how or why we were set up together, but we met and we instantly connected just like that. So the person I'm referring to is my business partner, the person who I'm running the clothing brand with. And it was that easy to just start my entrepreneurship journey. I started a clothing brand, I met someone else, and then we decided to start a clothing brand together. And that first business that we started, it was a real boost, because I'd say without meeting him, I would not have been here. So we decided to make a clothing brand. It was me, him, and another person, one of my friends. So we started the clothing brand. We started up, and while I was setting up the clothing brand, I was coming up with ideas. I was watching TikToks of other clothing brands. I was watching YouTube videos. I watched so many people talk about clothing brand, what to do, what not to do, what's the best thing to do, what kind of designs I should do, what's better to come up with, the design or the name, stuff like that. I got obsessed with it. For a month straight, I think I was just focused on the clothing brand. I was tunnel visioned in on the clothing brand, and I learned everything about the clothing brand within like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, up to like a month, just clothing brand. And we learned harsh lessons along the way, but I'd say making my own business was the real push that I needed to, get to where I am at today. So fast forwarding a couple months later, we dropped the hoodie, and we marketed that and stuff. So during that, I really learned what it's like to run a clothing brand. We started from nothing. We had an idea, we had social media, and we had a job, thankfully. And with that small fund that we had, we're funding this on our own. We're coming up with the ideas, we're making the designs, we came up with the name, we came up with the logo, we did the marketing, we did the selling, we got everything ready. We did everything on our own. And with that, with legit starting from nothing, from starting just with an idea. We started with an idea. We moved it to social media. We thought, if we can't have a manufacturer, let's just do print on demand. We got a couple sales here and there. And then with that print on demand, we started the clothing brand. So there was no excuse. All we did was take action. And what I see on a lot of people is they want to start a business. They want to start an agency. They want to start selling their service. But they always come back to this excuse, like, I don't know how to start. I don't know where to start. I don't have the money to start. Me and my friend barely had money to start a clothing brand. As it is, I spent money on the domain. I spent money on the website. I spent money on fulfilling the orders, when we were on print on demand. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna make a full video on the clothing brand pretty soon, like somewhere in the future. But most from the start, it was just us funding it. And I'll talk about like the clothing brand in the future, but for the most part, it's just us funding it. So if you're using that excuse, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to start, just forget everything. The video that I just posted right now, just start today. That's all you have to do. You have to just start today. Me and my friend started from nothing. It was just an idea in our head. We then proceeded to make an account because we agreed that we wanted to start a business. We made an Instagram account. We made a print-on-demand account. We started designing. We started coming up with ideas. We started coming up with designs. We put that design into a hoodie and a t-shirt, and we put that into, our social media. And then that's it. You can start a clothing brand with just print on demand. You can start a business by learning a skill. Let's say you want to make a software. You can go to school to learn software. You can go online to learn software. All you have to do is just start doing. Like, I hate when people come up with excuses when in reality all you have to do is just take action. Like, excuses is one of the things that's just gonna hold you back. And once you realize that if I keep making excuses, that's all I'm gonna be. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna create excuses left and right, and I'm not gonna actually start anything. That passion project that you wanted to do, that business that you wanted to create, that video that you always wanted to make is never gonna be made because you keep making excuses. I do this myself. When I was still uploading on my other channel, I kept making the excuse of, I don't have a video idea. I kept making the excuse of, I don't know what to record. I kept making the excuse of, I didn't have time. When in the grand scheme of things, when I look back, I had all the time in the world. I could have made videos like this. I could have talked about my clothing brand. I could have talked about my journey. I could have recorded it. I could have done so many things. Whereas instead of doing all of that, instead of taking action, I just made excuses, and that ended up to me just never making videos, and that ended up just me leaving my channel to just rot. So I do this as well, but I'm changing things now. I've started to take way more action than making excuses. I've started to do way more than just say things. Like now I'm learning copywriting. I'm resetting. I thought I knew what copywriting was. I thought I knew what was the basics of copywriting. I got reality checked recently by a person in Discord, and he basically just said I know nothing about copywriting. I'm still a beginner. I thought I was decent at it, but it turns out I'm complete dog shit in it. So yeah, you just gotta go with the mindset of just do it. Just keep doing and learning, and eventually you'll get there. Like eventually, with this 60-day period that I'm doing, hopefully I make massive progress. Hopefully by 60 days I am better than today. Hopefully by 60 days I fulfill some of my goals. Hopefully by 60 days, you know, I get one client at least. And that is, I can say all of these things, and I can like motivate myself to do it. I can motivate myself and say that I've already done it, when in reality I'm gonna say all these things. I will say all these things. I will post these things on YouTube, but I have to actually start doing them. So this is just something that I realized recently, and this is something that I wished I knew a long time ago. And take this seriously, because once you actually realize that you're just making excuses besides doing, you're gonna see things way differently, and you're gonna start to take way more action than anyone. So if you want to start a business, if you want to start making videos, if you want to get that job, stop thinking, stop making excuses of why you can't and won't do it. Just start doing. The worst case scenario is you don't make it. At least you tried. If you try hard enough, if you really try, and you put everything, you put all of your efforts in it, the worst case scenario is you don't make it. So what? Just try again. If you don't make it, try again. Who cares? Like, just start doing it. Start taking action. So yeah, I'm signing out.